Finally, the Spider-Man sequel that will bring the MCU Phase 3 to a close is here. Will it be as good as the Endgame or at least meet the hype? Let's find out together, shall we? Good morning, afternoon, evening everyone. Hi, my name is Myra and welcome back to my channel. How are you guys? I hope you all doing great and I hope I can edit this movie review faster than I did before because I want to share it with you guys as soon as possible. But if it does take some time, I apologize because I am not very good at editing and I'm trying to be better at it, so please bear with me. And of course, if you haven't, please don't forget to click that bell button besides my subscribe button so you will be notified if I upload something new. Now, after Endgame, I have such high hopes for this movie. I mean, how can any Marvel movie top that one? Well, the answer is Spider-Man Far From Home doesn't top Endgame at all in any way whatsoever. But this movie also doesn't come out as pathetic either, although it didn't live up to my expectations. I'll tell you how I feel once I talk a little bit about the synopsis. The movie starts after the blip, and of course, after Endgame finishes where Tony Stark died. And in case you don't know, the snap is when everybody disappears and the blip is when everybody reappears 5 years later, I think. With Tony being remembered by everyone everywhere, Spider-Man, or we know him better as Peter Parker, felt burdened with questions like how he should or could be the next Iron Man. While he ponders on that and tries to avoid the issue by concentrating on his trip to Europe and just basically being a teenager and try to confess his likeness to Michelle Jones, or MJ as we know her.
You look really pretty.
And therefore I have value.
No, that's not right.
I'm messing with you. You look pretty too.
On the other side of the world, Nick Fury and Agent Hill encounters a threat of an epic proportion, plus a new hero that can help them save the day. Unfortunately, one hero isn't enough, and Nick Fury decides to ask Spider-Man for some help. Will Spider-Man be able to make peace with Tony's death and save the world, or will he choose to stay on his vacation and simply living his life regardless of his potential to be a hero? As usual, if you haven't watched the movie, please stop here.
He's no Spider-Man.
What is it with you and Spider-Man?
What, he looks out for the neighborhood, has a dope suit, and I really respect him. Sup, dickwad?
The beginning of this movie went by so fast for me. One day, Spider-Man was making an appearance for Aunt May's thing on the people that was affected by the blip, to be introduced to Spider-Man's issue right off the bat, that he doesn't want to be the next Tony Stark. It was clear that this issue would affect him for the rest of the movie and ultimately be the reason for the main conflict. For me, everything was introduced too early, leaving little surprise in the end, storyline wise. How Peter Parker tried to avoid the reality after Tony Stark's death is acceptable to me. Although I thought that he would be more emotional and even probably depressed, but here he just closed that chapter altogether and tried not to open it even though the thing was banging from the inside, which was shown when he rejects calls from Nick Fury.
You sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go. You do not ghost Nick Fury.
I thought there will be more emotions involved at the beginning, but instead they fly straight to Europe. Then there's the introduction of Mysterio, which confuses me at first, since I didn't do any background research on this character. He actually looked like a mentor for Peter Parker, a figure that the boy desperately wants since Tony Stark died. But how Mysterio approached Peter, being so steady with his advice and such, was a bit weird for me. And then things went sideways when Mysterio revealed himself that he was nothing more than an advanced trickster, which was a surprise to me because one, I genuinely thought that he was from another planet and I was a little bit curious about how he can be the main villain, but apparently now we know how. And two, then what of the multiverse theory? Is that just a ruse? I was frustrated because the multiverse was spoken by Peter. I was really ecstatic for it to come true. Hot damn. You did it again, Marvel. You tricked us all. After Mysterio shed his mask, things went by a little better and it doesn't felt as fast as before. I was amazed by how many people actually hating on Tony Stark and how Marvel managed to get that one guy from Iron Man 1 to star in this movie again. And we come to the trippiest and probably the best part of the movie when Mysterio trapped Spider-Man with his top-of-the-line tech gear and managed to create a very scary yet real world, an attempt to scare and confuse Spider-Man. Those scenes were great and very entertaining, but kind of sad as well. I mean, Peter Parker got hit by a train because of that. I was just glad that the CGI they were doing was flawless. Although, if we want to talk the very best part of this movie, it was the mid and post credits scene. Mid scene was by far my most favorite because I get to see J. Jonah Jameson again. That character brought me so much joy, and I didn't think that I could see him again because he already started in the first 3 Spider-Man movie. But when he showed up and bring the news about Mysterio's death and then revealed that Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker, I lost it. I lost it bad. If I was allowed, I would be jumping up and down in the theaters. I would give a standing applause if my jaw didn't drop and render me motionless. Like, post-credit was also awesome. We get to see a lot of extraterrestrial spacey things that weren't there before, but for me it doesn't have the same impact as the mid scene. Character wise, I still think Peter Parker can be a little bit better, but I have to admit that his development from struggling with life to being the next Tony Stark was staggering and great. And Mysterio stole my attention once he's being an ass, especially his monologue while rehearsing the final scene. That was awesome. The supporting characters were great. I love how innocent MJ and Peter Parker looks, and also how some high school relationship can be short-lived, as known as Ned and Betty Grant. It adds to the jokes in the movie, just like Aunt May and Happy Hogan.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
Happy.
You look nice.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. New dress?
Yes, it is. How'd you know?
What just happened?
So, should you watch this movie? If you are an avid Marvel fan, hells yeah! But it won't be as awesome as the Endgame. In fact, I think it is rather mediocre. Just wait for the mid and post-credit scene because I promise you, this is what you've been waiting for. And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this movie review. And if you do, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They are in my description below. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!